Hey guys, today I want to talk about something very important, and it is the rewards of Abyssal Dungeons, Legion raids, Argos as well, basically all the weekly content, and whatever, at what time you should stop opening the chests, paying the gold for them, and just keeping the pure raw gold for your, income, weekly income. So, let's quickly begin with the first steps, and that's gonna be our Abyssal Dungeons. So, Abyssal Dungeons, as you know, let's say if you have an alt that is like 1340 or so on, just literally I'm gonna say this: don't open chests at all. If you're just doing like 3040, you have an alt that is 3040. Um, which I don't have at the moment, but if you have an alt that is 3040, I don't recommend opening any Abyssal Dungeon chests because the gold is much worth there. You're not gonna get much from opening the chest. You're just gonna get a couple leap stones and a couple of guardian and destruction stones, which don't actually make up for it. You basically better up taking the gold. So now let's talk about if your alt is at 3070 and you can do hard variants of Oculus and Oreha. So on this case, you shouldn't be opening the chests as well either now, because the prices of Great Honor Lipstones dropped, and you just get like four or five from the boxes as far as I remember. Um, then you really get like a really low amount of materials, the Guardians and Destruction Stones. Then other side, you get some extra, accessories, which can go for a decent price sometimes, but in overall, most of the time you're not gonna get anything good. So keeping the pure gold is gonna be much more value in long term of run, because I do the weeklies on 6 characters every week, and as far as I remember, I didn't really had a lot of items that were expensive, but it technically depends on the class. If you're running like sorceress, there's quite a lot of expensive items on these characters, and especially like if you have Arcana now, you should be opening on Arcana right now because the items are expensive. But besides that, you should not be opening the chests on neither normal, neither hard on the Oreha dungeons, because you're gonna get much more, uh, just from keeping the raw gold. Now let's go on to another one, which is the Argos. So Argos is a bit more tricky, on my opinion, because if you have an alt that is like 1370 and maybe you buy buses, maybe you just have your friends or guild carry you, and you do like all 3 phases every week, even if your chart is 3070. I would recommend to open chest at that point still, because if you want to progress your character, beyond 1370, it's a really good of income with the Great Honor Lipstones, and the chest technically only costs like 500 gold, and you get like 20. I think yeah, it is 20 Argos blood. So as you know, you can dismantle them and get some Great Honor Lipstones, and if you dismantle 20, you're gonna get like what I think around 50, 55. So at the current prices, the Great Honor Lipstones are somewhere between 25 to 30. So let's say the lowest 25. That was what I saw on our server a couple days ago. So if you take 25 and you uh, just multiply them like by, let's say, 55, you would get like 1,300 something, value out of it. So in that case, it's still worth to open, the Argos chest, because if you want to push your character, that's gonna be a quite big help for you with leap stones. But if you already reached the point where you don't want to push your character more, or your alt, you don't want to push it more, beyond what we have, you should be just taking the raw gold from Argos as well. because if you're alright with where your character is and you're not planning to push it and just keep it for like weekly gold gains, you should just go for straight gold. You know, it's much more in value because you can't really do anything with those leap stones, and if you do like daily unas, you're gonna get there eventually anyway, like what I did with my alt, you know. And if you're like at 14, 15, you definitely don't need Argos anymore because you can pretty much do most of the weekly content you want to do. Like you can do Argos, you can do Valtan, and you can just complete your, you know, 1430 in a slow, you know, fashion, you know, with just your weekly dailies, you know, like Lipstones, the bound ones, and with the free enchants. Then let's go on the next one, which is the Legion raids. So with the Legion raids, it's a bit more tricky, and let's talk about what's going on with Legion raids. So the first thing, what I'm gonna say with the Legion raids, it's a bit more tricky. Why? Because you kind of want to open the chest at all times, but not really. Like if you're with your main character, you should be opening the chest till you get your relic set, and after that you should be opening second gate, or on Vykas case third gate chests, because those chests are the most value and they give, you know, most of the fused lipstones. I think they only give on the last gate, as far as I remember as well. So the fused lipstones are a really nice addition, which you can either save or just keep enchanting depending on your preference, which I'm saving currently for the next, you know, gear set. Then I can just transfer them to the higher tier of fused lipstones and get some free enchants later on. That's why I keep on my main. I just opened the last chest on Valtan and on the Vykas, so I just opened the last chest to get, you know, the fused lipstones, additional stone of chaos, and actually the dwarf is there. You know, the dwarf is there, but you could just go for pure gold as well. You're still gonna get some, you know, fused lipstones, but it's gonna be much lower case, you know. You're just gonna get like by 15 out of 30 if you open the chest. So it depends on you. You're gonna lose like 1k gold, but you're still gonna get quite nice of boost. So on your main, I do recommend only opening the last chest on the last gate, which like on Vault on the first gate, it costs like 900 as far as I remember right now, and you get 1000. So the chest doesn't really give you much, and you lose a lot of gold for it. Now, if you're on your alt that is 14, 15, I actually don't really even recommend open the chest. You can just take the pure gold, you know, which is quite nice of income, you know. Uh, and especially if you're like 1430, you can do Walton and Vykas. You should just keep the gold. You're just gonna get, you know, 1445 eventually, slowly, with your bound lipstones, with your fused lipstones. There's no rush for that because you're gonna get most of your gold from these, and you just keeping the gold will give you much more benefit than actually, you know, opening the chest with some random RNG accessories, which you probably never get good one. Like last week, I think I got one, but as it was like 5k because the relic accessory prices dropped a lot, and the chest costs are quite high, especially on normal stages. You don't really get much gold if you open the both chests on like both gates on normal. So with your alt, you should just take the gold. With your main, I recommend just opening the last, you know, chests on the last gate, because they're usually a bit more expensive, but they actually has the most value, you know, with fused lipstones and with where are those stones? Shards of chaos or whatever they're called right now. So I would just recommend, you know, opening the Stones of Chaos, opening just the last on your main. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked, consider subscribing for more content like this, and see you guys on the next one. Peace!